So I spent some more time out in the shop today. Well, the day's not over yet, but I've been spending some time out in the shop today. I used my router sled to flatten all of these bigger cutting boards because the drum sander is taking way too long. So I flattened them with the router sled, and then I ran them through the drum sander. They have 4 passes on each side. Just a few minutes, really clean up the little bit of tear out from the router bit. And these things are ready for the orbital sander and all that fun stuff. So each one probably has like another, I don't know, at least half hour, 40 minutes or so of work to go before the finish will go on. These things take forever. So I just took a little break, sweating, like really sweating, and I finished cutting up the a little bit of walnut. So this is all that's left, this little piece here, and then I threw the other offcut right there. But this is a pretty cool log. I think this is for Tiana. I think she'll like this. A lot of cool stuff in this log. She found these on Craigslist. She paid me to go pick them up with my trailer from someone's yard, and then she pays me to mill them. So that's her log there too, and those small ones there. It's all from the same tree. So that was back in like, I think April. I think it's been like, yeah, it's like in April when I picked these things up. So they've been sitting here for a while, but luckily she's not in any rush. Yeah, but the chainsaw, the oiler still isn't working. So I gotta take it apart and see what's going on in there at some point. Kind of annoying, but they're pretty easy to, hopefully easy to fix. Maybe it's just clogged inside or something. I can check the pickup. We'll see. I'll take a look at it later. But I'm just happy I got through those last 2 cuts. This one here and this one here are new. But some pretty cool figure in these things. Let's crouch down here. Good morning! By morning, I mean good evening. How was your late afternoon nap? Fantastic? Love you.
This is what happens when Daddy tries to force you to walk over and over again. Crybaby face. Be nice to him.
Oh, that's what you wanted. Yes.
He shouldn't get the cord anyway.
Going down, going up, going down. Those chunky legs. He's in there.
Alright, so he's ready to get out.
Alright, he just got in there.
I just washed him, so.
Does he want to play and stuff? So I pulled my saw apart to try and figure out what was going on with this oil thing. Figured it was probably the worm drive, the worm gear for the oil pump, which is this guy right here, or was this. This was a worm gear. As you can see, it is no longer a worm gear. And part of it here, this is the actual oil pump. Part of it here is all melted and broken off. So this is the gear here that the worm gear would turn. And how the oil pump works is actually pretty simple. So this worm gear, oh whatever, this was a worm gear. This little ring thing is part of that. The ring sits on here like that, or however when it's attached, and then on the clutch drum, this is what's engaged when the chain's actually turning. There's a little notch in there, so as the clutch is actually spinning, or as the clutch drum is spinning, so when you're actually using the saw, when it's cutting or when it's revving up, the drum is engaged by the clutch, starts to spin, and this little notch here grabs this little wire thing here, turns that turns the worm gear, which in turn turns this gear inside of here, which pumps oil from the oiler, or from the oil reservoir, which is right there. I think that's the oil reservoir hole, and this is the one that goes to the where the oil actually comes into the bar. So this needs a new worm gear, which is a pretty common thing to replace. It's just really hard to get at this thing because you have to remove the clutch, and this is extremely hard to remove because it's on there really well after, you know, however long it's been on there for, you know, a few hours and hours worth of use. That thing is on there really well. The thing with this too is it's a reverse thread, so keep that in mind if you ever have to remove a clutch off a chainsaw, and you have to stop up the piston to prevent it from moving, or else if you try and turn it off, try and turn it to get it off, all you're going to do is start actuating the piston up and down, so you have to hold the piston in position so it doesn't move, so you can actually undo this. And I do that with a piece of nylon rope, which works alright. So I'm going to order a new worm gear. I'm going to take a look at this pump and try and clean it up and see and make sure this is still in good shape. The gear is spinning alright, but it's really dirty, so I'll clean it up and see if the pump is still good. Replace that if I need to. This is kind of worn kind of weirdly. I don't know. Maybe I'll just replace it. I have it open already. We'll see. This is the hard part, getting it all apart, but this thing is really dirty in there. So that's about it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and order this part, get it coming, and yeah. Oh yeah, the other thing is I got the this bar, 66-inch bar. It has a hard nose tip, so there's no sprocket on the end, which has advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage is that you can run any pitch chain on there, so you can flip-flop and run whatever you want. The downside is that it has more friction on it, so it takes more power to turn the chain. I don't know how much more power, maybe not that much, maybe it doesn't matter. So down here is the 404 pitch chain that came with it. Pretty beefy stuff. For milling, I have my 3/8 inch chain, which is a smaller kerf, which is what I want to run on this bar, and hopefully it'll be alright. So this is 170 something, 172, 176 drive lengths right here, and then to convert to this, it's like 110% more links because they're closer together. So the chain that I need for here is 190 drive links. It's going to be a really long chain, or really a lot of cutters on that thing. So it'll be interesting, but that's about all for Chainsaw Land tonight. Parts time. Oh, and I also got the new, I don't know if I showed this already, but I got the new clutch drum for the 090. This one has a rim sprocket on it, so that you can run whatever sprocket you want for whatever chain you want to run, instead of having to change the whole clutch drum. So I'll put that on eventually, whenever I get the new chain for that bar, put them all on together and we'll see how it cuts or whatever. So that's about it for tonight. Have a fantastic evening.